Atomic Monsoon.
Welcome to the Monsoon.
Okay, I'm not going to forget this time, you guys.
Forget what?
Thanks to Def M Records and the Def M Records All-Stars for providing our entrance music.
Yes, and welcome to another episode of Atomic Monsoon. I'm back.
Hey, Stephanie's here.
And my nose, and I'm really congested because Arizona decided to go from 40 to 70 in a day.
It's true. I was enjoying all those social media memes that were all like, Arizona last week, and people bundled up in parkas. Arizona this week, and it was a pool party.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Which is not...
That's basically every year, though.
Yeah.
I mean, really.
The thing is, though, I don't think I've ever seen it go from literally the high is 40 one day to the next day being actually 70. Like, that's a 30-degree jump in a 24-hour period.
It's more akin to the winters we had back in like the late 80s, early 90s.
So before global warming.
Okay. Before I was here.
Well, I guess you could say that.
No. We had that back then, too.
Yep, we've had it for a
But
long time.
then they called it the hole in the ozone layer.
Right. Yes.
Yes, and if you used Aquanet, we were going to be dead before I was 30.
You know what's funny is I actually accidentally bought Aquanet hairspray last time I bought hairspray. Yeah, which is the last time I cut my hair before this time, so like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And so every so often I will use Aquanet on my hair. I don't use hairspray a lot, but when you have as much hair as I do, sometimes if I'm going to something official.
They told everybody that like the world was going to end if they didn't stop using like aerosol cans, and nobody stopped using aerosol cans, and the world still existed.
I know a lot of people that use them less.
Yeah, but I mean, every air freshener went from being like a little thing that stands there or a thing in your car to being a spray of some kind. I don't see less.
All I'm hearing is the song Hairspray from Hairspray, where they're spraying like so much to the point you might as well just be eating it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Speaking of hairspray, Marvel's coming out soon, and that takes place in the 80s.
90s.
90s too.
Yeah.
Oh, it is 90s.
It's just 90s.
That's something I was curious about. Like I heard Nirvana song in the advertising for it, and it made me go like, I'm pretty sure Kurt Cobain wouldn't want any of his music used for advertising on anything. Kind of ironic.
I don't think Kurt Cobain wanted any of his anything used for anything.
Yeah, that's why. It's kind of. I don't think he would be happy with that song being on for any movie. It doesn't matter what the movie is.
In fairness, Kurt Cobain didn't like his music being used to make money for himself.
Yeah.
So
that's what I mean, though.
You're not wrong.
I don't think he would be happy about that.
But Dave Grohl is still alive. Also, the other guy, Chris something. Damn it, I always forget his name.
Sorry, Chris something.
I'm sorry. Still to this day, though, I don't think Dave Grohl. When I think Nirvana, I still think Kurt Cobain.
He's the drummer.
I know. I'm just saying. I don't think him when I think Nirvana.
I know because everyone always thinks they're the vocalist, even though there's still the rest of the band, no matter what band you're listening to. Speaking of which, you can go to defmrecords.com and listen to all kinds of wonderful bands.
Indeed,
and find some new music.
So, but yes, Captain Marvel comes out next week. I'm actually going to go see it on Thursday when it premieres. So I will have a review ready for Friday.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I do not have an opportunity to go see it that night. So
unless Stephanie turns out to be a Skrull.
It's possible. She was gone for a week.
She was.
And she came back and she's happy.
Actually, I'm
like,
Goose.
really happy.
I'm Goose.
What?
I'm Goose.
From Top Gun?
No, I'm the cat, Goose.
Oh, that
Wait,
cat.
Goose is a Skrull?
No. He's not a
Goose
Skrull.
is a flirkin.
He's a flirkin.
Oh, okay.
That's
right. We were talking about that the other day.
Yeah. He's a flirkin cat.
Oddly enough, speaking of the band thing, I'm jumping back to that because you made me think of it. I want to say it now. So something magical happened this morning for anybody who grew up in the mid-2000s. And when I mean grow up, I mean like you were like middle school, maybe high school in this time.
Okay.
The Jonas Brothers are back.
What?
Yeah, they released a brand new song, and in the music video, it's the three of them singing and each of their wives.
Huh.
Wait, Jonas Brothers, is that the group that they made fun of in South Park about the purity rings?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And
the only reason I know who that is is because of South Park.
Yes.
I grew up a fan of the Jonas Brothers as a kid, but I mean, like, yes, each of them are married, and I think the only one who's still engaged but going to be married is Joe Jonas, and he's marrying the actress who plays not only Sansa Stark but also Jean Grey and Dark Phoenix.
Oh, Sophie Turner, yeah.
Yeah.
She's good, I like
Sophie
her.
Turner, yes. I forgot her name for a moment.
So she's the little girl that grew up to marry Jonas brother.
Yes, she was.
Good for her.
So
good for her.
I mean, technically they all were.
Well, I mean, I think the Jonas Brothers, the little boy who grew up to marry Sophie Turner.
Yes.
Well,
to be fair.
He was famous first.
Yeah, but
Still.
she's way more famous.
True.
That's,
To each their own. But anyway, so that happened, and their new music video, Sucker, is pretty good, and I like the song, so I'm happy, and all people who are listening that are Jonas Brothers fan, go listen. Yes, it's a good song. Yeah, no, it's pretty good.
Right on.
Okay. It's still kind of like their style that they had years and years and years ago, but it's very adapted to now.
It's kind of funny. There's I noticed something. This made me think of it because pop stars and everything. There's a Final Fantasy game out right now. Final Fantasy Brave Exvius on the cell phone, like iPhone, all that kind of stuff. I know in the past they've done like a partnership with like Ariana Grande and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right now they have one up with Katy Perry, and she actually has like an exclusive song that you can listen to on that while you're playing it.
That's cool.
It's kind of wild,
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool little thing too. Plus you get a little Katy Perry character to play with too, which is really weird because it's pop stars in a Final Fantasy. I don't know. It was something kind of neat though.
The new Kingdom Hearts game, because they normally have like a theme song that'll play, like when they show like the really cool animation and everything.
Yeah.
And normally it's done by like some obscure group that nobody really ever knows. But this time someone teamed up with Skrillex and did a song for the new game.
Interesting.
I haven't heard it yet, but that happened, and I'm like, ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for your Kingdom Hearts review because I haven't played that yet.
It's going to be soon. I still need to get the game that's, money in life has been happening, so I haven't had the chance to go out and buy it yet.
Yeah.
Totally understandable.
So,
hey, speaking of video games, though.
Yeah.
Today, March 1st, 2019, is the release of Toejam and Earl Back in the Groove.
Nice.
Yes. So for those of you who don't remember, or maybe
Planet Funkatron.
Yeah. For those of you who don't remember, or maybe weren't born in 1991.
No, I wasn't.
No, right. Toejam and Earl was a Sega Genesis game. You play as two aliens. There is Toejam, who is an alien with 2 eye stalks and 3 feet, hence Toejam, or his buddy Big Earl. And there are a couple of aliens who were just jamming out to some funky tunes, which is to say early 90s hip hop. And they got hit by a meteor and crashed on Earth, and their ship exploded into 10 pieces, and you had to travel the Earth to find the 10 pieces.
All right.
And you could be stopped by phantom ice cream trucks or moles that would chase you from underground, or the boogeyman, or a crazy dentist with the best laugh ever, which is,
okay.
I don't know if I can do it, but...
Nice.
Yeah. Or there was a bunch of chickens with a tomato cannon and shoot you with tomatoes. And you went around the different levels of the Earth, and you picked up presents to get power-ups, and you get like Icarus wings or rocket skates or spring shoes, or just have some tomatoes of your own to throw it at some of the Earthlings. And it was a lot of fun. It's very weird. It's kind of an adventure game.
Kind of came out in that weird time period where you got like Toejam and Earl and Zombies Ate My Neighbor.
Right.
And a few other games like that. They were really fun games, but they're just really weird.
They were very well.
Boogerman.
Yeah, Boogerman was very weird and gross.
Yeah.
Earthworm
Jim.
Toejam and Earl is one of those games that like it doesn't fit any other genre of game, right? Like, it's not quite an adventure game. It's not quite a platformer. It's not quite an RPG. It's not quite like it's just kind of its own thing. I was watching a review earlier, and someone described it as like a kind of a roguelike adventure game, and I was like, I mean, I guess in that the worlds are randomly generated, but that's the only roguelike thing about it.
Yeah. Do we have an over-under table on how many reviews are going to say it's too Dark Souls-esque?
No. No, well, none, because I watched a couple reviews today, and they're all like, yeah, you can beat this game in a couple of hours.
Okay.
It's like, you can, but part of the fun of it is it's procedurally generated, right?
Yeah.
So every time,
is nice.
Yeah, so there is like the original Toejam and Earl, there is a fixed set. So if you just want to play your 25 levels and they're the same every time, you can do that. And then there's a randomizer. So every time you play the game, you will get a different set of levels.
Okay, is this a completely new game, or is it a remake of the original?
It is a brand new game done in the style of the original.
Okay, cool.
But with new kind of HD hand-drawn graphics with 3D worlds.
Nice.
So
nice.
yeah, it's kind of weird because like the ground's 3D, but like the buildings and all the things are sprites. So it's cool. I picked it up this morning, but there was some weird thing going on with the Switch network where it was like, you can't play it yet, and I was like, well, I gotta go to work. Okay, bye. So I'll play it tonight. I can give a review next week.
Yeah, tell us how it is next week. Look forward to it.
I'm very excited for that. It got kickstarted like 2 or 3 years ago, and finally it came out today.
Nice.
So. I need to double check my old email. I think I may have kickstart that. I don't remember.
Oh well, if so,
I
go
might have
check,
a code for a game
it
somewhere.
And, check it out.
I just thought about that.
Yeah.
But I think I did that and Mighty Number 9, and then regretted Mighty Number 9. I think I might have forgot about Toejam and Earl until now.
Nice. It's on Switch, PS4, Xbox One, Steam, kind of everywhere that you're going to get games these days. So
cool,
awesome,
kind of neat. So this week has kind of been a big week for the Disney parks because they've been releasing a lot of stuff involving Galaxy's Edge.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the new Star Wars segment, right?
That's the new Star Wars land. Yeah.
Okay.
So they released the official.
A quick question: do you know, is this taking place at Tomorrowland, or is it like a whole other separate area?
It's a whole new world.
Okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I didn't know how they were doing that. So
yeah, no, it's if you go to Disneyland, it's.
I should probably stop singing that. We might get tagged on something. Yeah.
I mean, no. So it's at Disneyland. It's over. Like you have to go past Splash Mountain to go to it.
Okay.
At least based off the map and where they're kind of placing it.
Okay.
At Disney World, it's at Hollywood Studios in one of like the backlot areas.
Okay.
So, kind of, it's near Star Tours. So it's like Star Tours, Muppets, Star Wars. Okay.
Whatever works.
There's a little Muppet sector.
Have they released like what kind of rides and stuff they're going to have, or is it still like hush hush?
No, they've already released the names of at least the 2 main rides. One of them is called Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run.
Okay.
So you pretty much pilot the Millennium Falcon.
Do we know, is that going to be like Star Tours-esque, or do we know?
It looks like it's going to be Star Tours-esque, and you're sitting in, it looks like based off like concept photos, you're sitting in the cockpit.
Yeah.
And you're, flying the Millennium Falcon, and I'm like, yes.
That'd be cool.
Don't get cocky, kid.
You're right. And then the other one.
I know like 4 Star Wars jokes.
Yeah. The other one is Rise of the Resistance. Where you're in like some type of like the dinosaur Indiana Jones type ride buggy, and you're trying to get away from the Resistance and the Resistance, trying to get away from the First Order to get back to the Resistance.
Okay.
So it's kind of like that.
All right.
But they released this week the official outfits the cast members are wearing, from the Imperial uniforms to the bartenders to the the people running the ride to the people who are cleaning up to the people who are doing left, right, center, all these different things, and they look straight out of Star Wars.
Cool.
Another thing that was announced was all the food and drinks that are going to be served in Star Wars Land.
Nice.
There's a lot of alcoholic drinks that I would like to try now. Also, you can get blue milk.
Well, you kind of figured that was going to happen.
Yeah, but you can also get the green milk.
Hey!
There we go.
And there's like a lot of other like really tasty looking food. You could probably find like an article online like what the food's going to be. I just kind of wrote down the fact that, hey, blue milk. Another thing is that they also announced that there's nothing Disney in there. I mean, like, there's no hidden Mickeys. The name tags don't say anything Disney on them. They're specialty, like, different kind of name tags.
Okay.
They did something very similar with this with Pandora at Animal Kingdom, where it's very much like, this is a whole separate world that's not connected with Disney. And it's like, that's really immersive, and I'm so excited.
Yeah.
The last thing I'm going to say that they've announced is they showed one of the audio animatronics that they have, because Disney's very well known for their audio animatronics and their rides.
I didn't know they were still doing any of the animatronics.
Oh, they still do the animatronics. One of the animatronics that's going to be in the Smuggler's Run ride, I don't know where, he's going to be somewhere involved in it, is Clone Wars' favorite pilot. Hold on. He's from Star Wars The Clone Wars, and he's everybody's favorite pirate, Hondo Anaka.
Okay. Oh, this is the one you showed me earlier.
Yes, that's the one I was showing you earlier. Yes.
His animatronic looks amazing.
Does it?
It does.
I'll have to look up. I'm not sure which character that is.
I haven't watched the shows. Yeah, me neither. But it's like, it's one of those things where you look at it and you're like, I don't know who this character is, but that's a hell of a job. Like whoever made the animatronics, like, did a really cool job making this character come to life.
And here's the thing, though. It's like, even though the Weegway species has already existed in Star Wars, they did a really good job from looking at 2 animated versions of this character from Clone Wars and from Rebels and going, this is what he would look like if he was in real life.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, but
it's one of those things that you couldn't really do practical effects for. Or, you could, but the dude would be in makeup for 6 hours for just his head. So
it's really, really good. And it has like and they show like it moving, and it looks a lot like him when he moves in the series. But for those of you that don't know, which obviously, Josh, you were one of those people, Hondo was first introduced in season 1 of Clone Wars as a drunken pirate who had the ability to not only trick Count Dooku, but also capture him, and then capture Obi-Wan and Anakin.
I'm trying to remember, because I watched some of the Clone Wars. I don't think I remember that one.
That would have been like the middle of season 1.
Yeah.
But he does appear later on throughout the rest of the series, and everybody loves Hondo.
Right on.
Okay. And if he
it makes sense for them to use that character.
Yes, because he came back in Rebels, and it's like he's continuously starting to make appearances now. That's like, you know what? Yeah, might as well throw Hondo in here.
Yeah.
Hey, so that works, man.
So if he was here and he heard this, he'd be like, Ma, look at me, I'm not famous. That was probably the worst impression I've ever done of him. Because I am Hondo. That's better.
There you go.
But yeah, no, I'm excited to see that. I'm like, I'm ready for a selfie.
Yeah, it sounds like it'll be fun when they end up opening it up.
Oh yeah, no. So I'll keep you guys posted if anything else gets announced, because I think for Disneyland,
do we know when it's going to open?
The dates have not been confirmed yet. Yeah. But Disneyland, it is the summer. Disney World, it's this fall.
Okay. So it is this year.
Yes.
We just don't have the specific dates.
Yeah, we don't know if it's like, May, June,
Probably
July,
something
August.
closer to like D23 and all that kind of stuff, right?
That's a little late, I think, especially if it's unless they're planning to open Disneyland's version in August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, because I think, is that normally when D23 is?
Yeah,
August?
usually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah. So Star Wars Land. Whew.
Right on.
Speaking of crazy sci-fi things, also things getting released today.
Okay.
If you're playing the Transformers trading card game, you're probably aware of this, but Wave 2, Rise of the Combiners, comes out today.
The Combiners.
Yes,
huh?
yes. So you can, they got it set up pretty cool where there's, there's the Combiners. They're like Voltron, right?
Yeah.
But they're Transformers. It's not why I'm wearing my Constructicon's Devastator shirt today, but that kind of worked out coincidentally. Yeah, so you get all your Transformers, they all combine into one bigger robot, and they got the card set up where one side is robot mode, the other side is the vehicle mode, and then the card opens up for a third mode to be the combiner limb or torso or whatever. Yeah. So 46 new Transformers and 81 new.
So you have a
cards.
card that opens like a card?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Yeah, you have a trading card that opens like a greeting card.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I haven't seen them in person yet because I had, nothing was open by the time I came to work, and I've been at work, and now we're recording this, and
How could you, Andy?
You're
supposed to magically have these.
We should have done it. That's what we should have done at lunch.
Yeah, we should have.
We should have just spent all that time not
downloading
eating lunch.
Toejam and Earl and not eating. I mean, come on now.
Yeah. I should have been a more responsible nerd and less responsible adult.
Meanwhile, I'm over
subsist
here.
off Mountain Dew and Doritos.
Mountain Dew and Twizzlers.
Oh, there we go. Twizzlers.
Yeah.
It depends on your fandom.
Those are mine.
Yeah, well,
it's pretty much universally different types of Mountain Dew and something.
Right.
It's true. It's very true.
Personally, I'm not big on Doritos, so Twizzlers.
Oh, there you go.
And I can drink the Mountain Dew with the Twizzlers like a straw.
Oh, there you
go.
Was
makes mouths happy.
One of the play I was in, there was a joke that we did at one point where there was a box on the table, and he lifted the box, and there was Doritos, Mountain Dew, and Twizzlers, and he's like, "Behold, snacks for our enjoyment, but lay off the Twizzlers. Those are mine." And he's like this epic booming voice, and then he goes, "But lay off the Twizzlers. Those are mine."
Yeah, I'm the weird guy that likes red vines better.
I have found that it's an East Coast West Coast thing with the Twizzlers red vines.
Really?
Yeah. It's people who grew up on the East Coast tend to like the Twizzlers. People who grew up on the West Coast tend to like red vines, and people in the Midwest pick and choose.
Yeah.
I like Twizzlers, and I'm from the Midwest, so there we go.
Yeah. See. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
red vines was just kind of, they were always around more.
that's the thing, is I don't think red vines existed on the East Coast.
Oh yeah.
So
see, now here you just get them by the tub.
right. Yeah.
Everywhere.
I remember when I moved out here in the 90s, I saw that and I was like, what the hell is this giant tub of licorice? And why have I never seen this before? Because Twizzlers just come in the plastic,
little plastic
cellophane
bags.
Yeah.
Because the only time I'd ever really get them was when we were like kids at school and stuff, and it'd be like, somebody has to bring something for the party kind of thing. And inevitably, there'd always be two kids that would bring two big things of red vines because they cost like $5, and we're like, here, everybody can eat these things.
Yep.
There was like a lot of those in those containers because I remember kids did that when I was in school too.
Yeah, no.
And I remember like kids like, instead of like the Twizzler pack where maybe everybody gets like one, it's like no, everybody like 12.
Yeah, or you'd have a teacher that would be their giveaway thing on like Fridays or whatever.
Yeah,
you had to come up and get a red vine.
I had a teacher that did that.
Yeah. My bus driver, when I was in kindergarten, used to do that. Every Friday, he'd have a bucket of red vines, and you got to take one when you got on the bus that day.
That's nice.
Hey, speaking of school memories.
Yeah.
Oh, this is a terrible segue.
Oh.
There's no such thing as a terrible segue.
There's
just ill-timed.
Okay.
I mean, there was the one time where I was on a Segway and I almost went into San Francisco traffic.
I mean, that was terrible driving.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
On a Segway.
Yeah.
I don't like Segways now.
So speaking of bad driving, 90210 is coming back.
Oh.
Beverly Hills 90210.
She just said, speaking of train wrecks.
Well, maybe. This one has an interesting twist. So it is most of the original cast has been confirmed.
Okay.
And they are playing themselves. They are not playing their characters from the show. So like Ian Ziering is playing Ian Ziering, Tori Spelling's playing Tori Spelling, Jenny Garth's playing Jenny Garth, Jason Priestley's playing Jason Priestley, and Brian Austin Green is playing Brian Austin Green, et cetera, et cetera. And the premise of this is only going to be 6 episodes, so they're in and out in a month and a half.
So it's not a long time series. They're just doing a little kind of fun reunion kind of thing.
Right, kind of a nice reunion thing. But it's they're all playing themselves, trying to pitch a reboot of 90210.
Wasn't there actually a reboot of 90210?
There was, yeah. And
like
Jenny,
on the CW or something like that?
Yeah, and Jenny Garth's character was the only one to come back.
I think Hayden Christensen was in that version.
He may
probably.
Or was that Matt Launter? I don't know. Like one of the guys who played Anakin, I think, was in a reboot. Was in the more recent version of 90210.
Yeah.
I do think. What's his name that played Starkiller?
Sam Witwer?
Yeah, I think he might have been in it, though.
Was he?
I
Maybe?
think so.
I don't know.
For some reason, when I think 90210, his face keeps popping in my head.
That's weird.
So I'm thinking he might have been on the reboot stuff, because I remember it was always on like late at night on WB. I'd get home from working when I worked at the bars. It'd be like 3 o'clock in the morning. Turn on the TV and just like, what the heck is this thing?
I think 90210, and then for some reason my mind immediately goes to Degrassi, and I watched none of these shows. So I'm like, why?
I mean, that's kind of the Canadian version of 90210. So that's
See, I watched Degrassi. I didn't watch the original 90210.
So I didn't watch 90210 when it was on. Well, I mean, it was on after The Simpsons on Thursday nights way back in the day.
Yeah.
So I would watch The Simpsons and then leave the TV on and fall asleep to the first 5 minutes of 90210, which means I love that theme song because it gives me back these weird memories of falling asleep on Thursday nights in like 3rd grade. But I didn't actually watch the show until a couple years ago when I had some dental work done and I just needed to lay in bed for a long time and I was going through stuff on Hulu and I was like, you know what? I never watched 90210. Let me give this a shot. And I got through about 2.5 seasons. And
fell into a Hulu hole.
I sure did. Yeah, and it was when Dylan and his dad were on the boathouse.
Which actor played Dylan?
Luke Perry.
Okay.
And there's more information about him after this, actually.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Luke Perry and his dad reconciled on their houseboat, and they were getting everything back together. They were going to be a family again. And then the dad goes to his car to go to work, and the car explodes. And I was like, okay, at the point where there's a car bomb in a teen drama about like weird relationship stuff, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, that suddenly went from like teen drama, you can watch this on Teen Nick, to suddenly this week on CSI.
Right. And it was
if it was like a teen CSI show, that might make a little sense.
Right,
like, we're like doing CSI.
Yeah, listen, I know that there are millions of people that watched and loved 90210 when it was on, and I'm not disparaging any of them, but there is everyone has their own taste.
Everybody likes a show that other people don't.
Right.
I'm a Farscape fanatic.
Sure.
But a lot of people hated that show.
Yeah, and that's fine. And I gave the show a shot. I gave it 2.5 seasons or whatever.
Yeah, there you go, man.
And we hit a point where it was like, okay, cool. You've escalated all your drama stuff to the point where you can't do anything else. Yeah, you can't do anything more in the high school. So now there's a conspiracy to kill one of the kids' fathers. I was like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of Luke Perry, the same day that the 90210 reboot was announced, it was announced that it was revealed that Luke Perry had a stroke. So he is currently in bad condition.
Yeah.
So we wish him the best.
Feel better, Luke Perry.
Yeah. More recent audiences will know him as Archie's dad on Riverdale. That was also a weird thing because when I was watching 90210 it was when Riverdale started, so I was watching Luke Perry at like 21 and then at like 45. Yeah, it was like, this is kind of strange.
Fair enough.
But I wish him a
hopefully
speedy
he gets
recovery.
better, man. Yeah.
And speaking of people getting better, this Monday night on Raw, Roman Reigns came back. If you remember several episodes back, a couple months ago, or 5 months ago, it was announced Roman Reigns was a leukemia survivor, and it came back. And he announced this week that the leukemia is in remission, so he is back.
Nice.
This is the second time he's beaten cancer.
Yeah.
And he's not even 35. So
wow.
Good for him.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that he's back. I hope that the wrestling fandom accepts him a little bit better this time around, and I hope I hope things that work out for the best, basically.
Yeah, hopefully, man.
There's got to be people that are going to hear this and be like, "Oh, Roman Reigns is back," but it's like, yeah, the dude.
Is he one of the heels? What is his?
So the thing about Roman Reigns is he is ostensibly supposed to be the top good guy.
Okay.
According to the way he is written, he should be the top good guy. The problem is that wrestling fans in general have become more aware of how wrestling works.
Yeah.
And they see that he is being written to be the top good guy and kind of written the same way Hulk Hogan was written in the 80s, kind of the same way that like Shawn Michaels was written in the 90s, kind of the same way John Cena was written in the 2000s. Like, he's supposed to be the good guy.
It's almost like there's a formula.
Right. Right. And they're sick of the formula. Okay. And so even though he's ostensibly the hero, he often gets the loudest boos and it's not everyone that I talk to.
So everybody loves to hate him, kind of thing.
Well, it's and no one has anything bad to say about him. They just don't like the way he's written.
Gotcha.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
So it's this weird paradigm because even like when people were booing John Cena like 10 years ago, they were like, "Yeah, I'm just sick of looking at him," right? Yeah. And like, and he can't wrestle and blah blah blah. And it's like, no, Cena can work. Cena's a good worker. He can do his thing.
I like John Cena.
Yeah, me too. And like Roman Reigns is a pretty good wrestler. The problem is like they are just writing him to beat everyone all the time, and it's like there's no drama when you know he's going to win every time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And some people just aren't a big fan of that, and so they'll boo him. But you go to Reddit, and you go to Squared Circle on Reddit or whatever, like everyone across the board is just like, no, I don't have a problem with Joe Anoa'i, the guy that plays him.
Yeah.
I have a problem with Roman Reigns. I don't like this character, right? Which is good.
So they just need to retool his character a bit.
Right.
That makes sense.
So I'm hoping that everyone can make this work. Hopefully some time away.
The guys in the wrestling, I don't even know how to put it, industry. They're good at figuring that kind of stuff out eventually. I mean, depending on who they got there. So because like Bischoff's still working for the WWE and stuff, isn't he?
No, Bischoff's on his own.
Is he gone now?
Yeah, he'll show up for one-off events or whatever. Yeah. But like he doesn't work there anymore.
Oh, he's not doing any writing anything like that anymore. No,
he started a brewery. So he just makes beer and goes fishing a lot. So
I'm gonna have to look up what kind of beer he makes.
I think it's a local Arizona brewery too.
Really?
I think so.
Looks like we're going to Google.
There's a surprising amount of wrestlers that live in Arizona.
There are a lot.
Yeah.
I know Daniel Bryan lives here. I know Dolph Ziggler lives here. I think John Cena lives out here now.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that live out here, and a lot of the old school wrestlers too. Like a lot of them retired out here and stuff like that.
Honky Tonk Man lives out here. Yeah. I think he's out in Glendale, and he just got announced that he's going to the Hall of Fame this year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. The Honky Tonk Man.
Yep. I hope you should tell Ryan. He always said that Honky Tonk Man was his favorite wrestler.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tell him that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Cool.
But that's enough wrestling talk. Oh, no, I have more wrestling talk, actually.
Wait, there's more.
Wait, yeah. So this past Sunday, I kind of didn't have a lot going on, and I was like, hey, I should go see Alita Battle Angel, because I want to see that movie, right?
Oh.
And
I want to see that. It looks really good. I just haven't had a chance to.
It was great.
Yeah.
But my story was, I got to the movies and it was like, it doesn't start for 2. I must have just missed the show or whatever, or was looking at the times for the wrong theater. I got to the theater 2 hours early, or 2 hours late, depending on how you look at it. And I was like, well, what am I going to do for 2 hours, right? Like, I can only walk around a mall for so long before I'm just like, So I was like, all right, well, let me go see Fighting with My Family, which is the movie that is based on the documentary about WWE superstar Paige.
Okay.
And her rise from being a 17-year-old like indie wrestler in the UK to becoming WWE Divas champion on her debut night in the company.
Oh, wow.
Spoiler for a thing that happened 6 years ago in real life. So I saw Fighting with my family, and it was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know that you need to rush out to theaters to go see it.
Fair enough.
I think you can wait till it hits Netflix or Hulu or WB Network, and watch it then, or if you can like Redbox it for $1 or something. Like it's worth watching.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to spend $15 to go to the movies, I'm not going to blame you for that.
Yeah.
And then, as soon as that was over, I looked at my watch or the clock on my phone.
Same thing.
Right. And I realized, Alita Battle Angel starts right now. So I walked out, bought another ticket, and walked right back in. I went and saw that. And it was interesting because I realized that both movies were kind of the same plot.
Oh, what?
Yeah, it's about a young girl who doesn't know her place in the world.
Okay.
Who has a mentor who kind of teaches her how things are supposed to be going, and she doesn't quite do exactly what the mentor says, and she ends up being the absolute best at everything that she does. And it was like, those are, I mean, I know that's a very general plot, but it was kind of weird to see
one's real life, one is a comic.
Yeah, here's the documentary version, and here's the crazy sci-fi cyberpunk version of the same story.
Nice.
And I was like, well, okay, so if you like that story, if you like either of those movies, you should see the other one because they're both pretty good.
Yeah. All right, cool. I want to see the Alita Battle Angel. I just haven't had a chance to.
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of interviews with the actress, and her name is escaping me right now. That plays Alita.
Yeah.
I had never seen her before, and
so
and
I'm
interested to see.
You only have to see her in that movie because the CGI on her face is so weird.
It changes how she looks drastically.
Yeah.
Drastically.
But Alita, even though you haven't seen it, is doing pretty well. It had a $170 million budget, more or less, and it's already brought in $286 million worldwide as of yesterday.
Yeah,
so,
it's from what I understand, it's been doing fairly well overseas and stuff.
Yeah, especially in Japan and China. The fact that it's doing well in Japan is great because it's a manga. It's originally Japanese. So, so I'm really excited that's doing well.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of movies,
please.
Last Sunday, the 24th.
Sure. That sounds close enough.
Yeah.
Close enough, that one.
I have my shoes on right now, so I can't count back that far.
Oh, that's good.
At your knuckles.
I never thought about that.
Yeah.
I think I get confused with the fingers, though.
That's fair.
It's all one.
Yeah.
Anyway, though, the Oscars were last Sunday.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people were like, yay, the Oscars, yay. But I was willing to watch it because not only were there some movies that I were interested in watching, but I actually knew what most of the films were this year.
Oh,
and I actually want to see most of the films, including the one that won Best Picture, which was The Green Book.
Yeah.
The movie about, I don't know the exact names of the characters they're playing, but it's like pretty much this African-American musician or singer or pretty much a music artist is doing a tour through the Deep South during the segregation and civil rights period. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he has this white guy that, kind of is like his bodyguard type thing, and they drive down together. And it's, and based off the trailers that I've seen, it's intrigued me to go see it. So I've been wanting to go see it. I just haven't had the time.
Yeah, the sole reason I didn't watch the Oscars is because I felt like they shafted Aquaman by not even giving it a chance to go in for the costume design or anything like that category. I get it, not the best picture at all. Shouldn't be nominated for that. But that movie had amazing.
The
costume
Academy
design.
is very picky.
It should have. It was. I felt they got shafted on that one.
Yeah, no, the Academy is very picky. To be fair. First,
I don't expect any comic book movie to do anything other than special effects and costume designs. Those should be just those movies.
Well, so speaking of that, Black Panther, who was nominated for several dozen Oscars, including Best Picture, which is the first comic book movie ever in the history of ever to be nominated for it. Sadly, they didn't walk home with as many as they were hoping, but they did walk home with costume design, production design, and Best Original Soundtrack. So
that's true.
A score, not soundtrack, score.
Fun fact, I forget the gentleman's name, but the guy who did the score for that movie, when he was going to USC Film, actually scored a movie that one of my cousins made.
Oh, wow. That's
That's cool.
cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
Nice.
So
that movie wasn't bad, but I don't think any of those things were better than they were in the Endgame. Or not Endgame, sorry, Infinity War.
Oh.
Like, I feel like the costumes, everything was better in Infinity War than they were in Black Panther.
So the thing is,
the score, everything.
Yes,
like,
but I will say that Infinity War already had most of the costumes pre-designed. Like, most of those were recycled costumes from other movies.
that had updates to them.
Right, whereas Black Panther was the first time we saw all, more or less, well, all of those costumes, because except for the one that T'Challa threw away at the start of the movie.
And the other thing is, too, is that there's also the fact that they created very modernized versions of, African clothing, and that they also were very realistic and accurate to a lot of, tribes in Africa. But there's also the fact that they took vibranium and they made outfits out of it.
Right.
And,
No, I just didn't see anything that was more impressive to me than the Avengers stuff.
I mean, Infinity War was nominated for visual effects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason to not nominate Infinity War for anything is because it's part 19. It's not, right? Black Panther, you can go in without knowing anything else about the Marvel Universe.
It's true.
And you're just a little confused about why this guy from something called S.H.I.E.L.D. is there.
Yeah.
Right?
It's true.
Infinity War, if you haven't seen at least a couple of those movies, you are not going to understand what's going on at all.
Yeah, but they're not nominations for story, though.
No, right.
Looking at costume design, special effects, and things like that.
Sure.
Yeah, it's true.
If we're talking about for script or for story,
The other reason, though, is the same reason that Fellowship of the Ring and the Two Towers didn't get nominated for everything, because they pretty much, when Fellowship came out, they're like, cool, we're going to give all of it to Return of the King, and that's going to walk away with all of the awards, rather than, hey, here's 3 years of the Hobbits winning everything.
Yeah.
Right? So it's entirely possible, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, but it's entirely possible that all of those, effects awards and score and everything are just, they've already decided they're going to give them to Endgame this year. Right,
yeah. Which is a whole other problem,
right?
Yeah.
In and of itself,
Right. Now I don't know. I haven't seen Endgame. I'm not part of the Academy, but they absolutely make decisions like that.
They also had that controversy this year with a lot of the stuff with people leaking how movies get nominated and things. So there's a lot of controversy for the Academy this year. So it'll be interesting to see how they do things going forward at all.
I mean, they're a little more flexible. I mean, this is at least from all of the Oscars that I have watched, which is not many, this is the first one I've seen where a majority, if not literally the whole Oscar winner list, were people who are first timers. First time nominees, first time winners. And it was like, holy crap.
All right. That's pretty cool.
There's people like Bradley Cooper and, all these other really big name Oscar winning actors that have, a laundry list of nominations. But then there's this Joe Schmo over here that did this really cool documentary, and he got first place, and it's like, oh my gosh, he ended up winning it, and it's really impressive, actually.
Yeah.
I'm not downplaying that, because this actor hasn't gotten his Oscar, he should get it. It's like, no. I'm in full support that all of these people came out their first try and knocked it out of the park. So, and speaking of a lot of other things that were not kind of interesting, that were kind of first timing, Into the Spider-Verse won Best Animated Picture.
It sure did.
Yeah.
It's the first non-Disney movie to win an Oscar since 2012.
Huh.
And that movie was Rango.
Okay.
With the lizard.
Yeah.
So.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Best animated feature. Hey, remember in our first episode when we were talking about how they were going to do the most popular film or whatever?
Oh yeah, they kicked that out.
They decided not to do that because basically it was like, hey, we made this so that we give Black Panther the Oscar without actually having to give Black Panther an Oscar.
Yeah.
For Best Picture.
So here's the thing: Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, and Maya Rudolph. The three very well known kind of Saturday Night Live type actresses.
Who those three they need to find them a series or characters to make movies so that we have the three of them together in a few movies.
Yes, because they're fantastic.
I love those three.
So they walked out and they cracked so many jokes. One of them was like, "We're going to stand here long enough to think that tomorrow's USA Today will think that we were the ones who hosted the show," because there was no host for the show either.
Right.
Yeah.
It just flowed.
Yeah.
It felt kind of strange, but but they did make a joke that, sorry, we're not giving away awards during the commercials. All awards are going to be broadcasted. and we're not going to have a best picture
Because they were
category.
going to just not even do anything with a lot of the technical awards.
Yeah.
And then people made a big stink because it's like, well, those are all the awards for the people that actually
Made the movie.
do something other than stand in front of the camera.
Yeah.
It's true. So, but yeah. So then they also mentioned that there's no best picture, not best picture, most popular film
Right.
award.
Right.
So it was very funny. Like they were very, being very meta at the at the
Yeah.
Oscars. And I guess my last thing about the Oscars involves Queen.
Okay.
So usually when the Oscars starts, like the very, like you turn it on and it has like it's like opening number with whoever's hosting usually. Whether or not they can sing or not, they'll find some way to do an opening number.
Yep.
The opening number this year was done by Adam Lambert and Queen.
That's cool.
They sang "We Will Rock You" and "We Are the Champions," and it was like you turn it on and it's like, wait, is this a Queen concert or the Oscars?
Right on.
All right. That's pretty cool.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and then Bohemian Rhapsody walked away with 4 awards. During the Oscars.
I heard that was the one thing will say. I kept seeing this thing pop up online because I guess it won for best editing.
It won for best film editing, best sound mixing, best sound editing, and best actor.
There's one scene in that movie where it's super choppy with the editing because they just they back and forth,
Okay.
to like somebody that's having a conversation. And so it's kind of you got best editing, and it was a well done movie, except for that one little scene when they're sitting down for dinner. It's like I think they let the interns do that one.
Either way, though, but yes, they ended up.
Maybe it won best editing because of that scene, because no one's ever edited a movie like this before. Well, this stands out.
No, I'm pretty sure I've seen plenty of Mystery Science Theater movies that had some of that editing in it.
Nice.
That movie was great, though. That movie's great. The entire movie's fantastic. It's just that one little scene where they're sitting down. I can't remember if it's like breakfast or dinner or whatever it is. Like they're having a meal, and it's just like with the camera switches.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
But yes, they won best film editing. They won sound editing and sound mixing because
the sound on that movie was fantastic.
Especially the fact that they blended Freddie, Rami, and like a Freddie impersonator's voice to make it sound like Freddie Mercury when he sang was really good. And then of course Rami Malek won for best actor.
Yeah.
And yay! Like, woohoo! I'm really happy that he took that award home because that's usually one of the biggest awards of the night is the Best Actor award.
Oh yeah.
It's the Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Director, and Best Picture.
Yep.
Are usually the big 4 that
Yeah, it's
in
usually
the
why
night.
they save those till the end and everything like that.
Yeah. So he walked away with one of the biggest awards of the night, and out of everybody else in that category, he was a first-time nominee.
That's
okay.
cool.
He beat out Christian Bale, who played Dick Cheney.
Yeah, that movie was me.
I mean, it's still impressive.
He definitely deserved that over Christian Bale. Definitely.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. But the thing is, I looked at it and I'm like, okay, so Christian Bale's playing Dick Cheney, and then Rami
I'm not
Malek's
saying
playing.
Christian Bale's a bad actor. I'm just saying
No, he's a fantastic
the two roles compared. He did way better. I felt.
But the thing is, it's like I also didn't even realize that was Christian Bale, which they won for makeup.
Yeah.
I'll give him that because I did not know that was him. I was like, no, really? So,
All right.
but yeah, no. So the Oscars happened. If you guys watched them, you watched them. If you didn't, you didn't. So
Yeah.
I didn't.
So there you go. But yeah, no.
I still think the Oscars should be replaced with the Eisners, but
The Razzies, man.
because
we just
I
need to
like-
put the Razzies on every year.
yeah, if we
That people would watch.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. In fact, if the Razzies were broadcast every year, I might watch the Oscars as well.
Oh,
Like that might be the thing. Like, hey, let's see what all the worst things were. Also, here were the best things. Like, all right, cool. Now I actually want to compare them.
So I feel like they need to do like the Razzies the week after the Oscars.
Yeah.
And just do the Razzies televised as well, because I think way more people would watch the Razzies. Because I think there's more people interested in seeing that versus seeing Hollywood pat itself on the back.
Yeah.
pretty much, yeah.
The Razzies would be a ratings boondoggle for somebody.
Yeah.
You know what would be great is if one network was airing the Oscars and another was airing the Razzies at
At the same time,
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be good.
Yeah.
So
Or Suicide. One of the two. But try it once. Suicide for the network.
Oh. I was like, no, you don't want to try that ever.
No,
Ever.
that's
bad.
No. Rating suicide. I'm sorry. No,
Okay.
no. Don't try. Don't try suicide once.
Phrasing.
Yeah. My bad.
a lot of people are at home like, what?
No.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Like, who airs the Oscars?
ABC.
Okay, so if ABC's running the Oscars, NBC or CBS should pick up the Razzies, right? Just try it 1 year. 1 year.
So I think CBS takes the Grammys, NBC takes the Tonys,
Comedy Central should probably have the Razzies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think
would
Fox
make
takes
sense.
the Emmys.
Oh, there's your EGOT. Yeah.
So
the
there's
CW
EGOT.
should get the Razzies. Because really, of the 5.
Well, Comedy Central actually would probably make sense because they actually own like some venues and stuff and things like that.
That's true.
Or Netflix.
Oh.
Just tape it and put it up the same night as the Oscars.
Or YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either or.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Listen, they're not perfect, but
No.
I'm just saying.
That's hot. Oh, that was such a terrible video.
I don't even know what that is.
It was their YouTube Year in Rewind, this last one they had last year.
Oh, the YouTube Rewind?
Introducing it. Yeah, it was bad.
I never watched this.
enjoyed it.
I don't.
I wasn't expecting a lot out of it either. I was like, oh, this is cool. Hey, look, YouTubers I like. And then it was over, and I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
So I don't have any expectations for YouTube Rewind other than like saying like, okay, which of the YouTubers do I know game?
Fair enough.
Okay. How are we doing on time there?
Oh, we got a little bit of time. One real quick thing I want to mention before I get out of here.
Yeah.
I know you two don't like scary things.
No.
Neither of you. I know.
What?
No,
But
for very different reasons.
for
but-
those
Yes.
of you out there that do, pick up Resident Evil 2 Remake for
Okay.
whatever system you're on, PC, Xbox,
That game is
PlayStation,
violent.
whatever. It is.
I had to block a friend on Facebook because he kept posting very violent images from that game.
Well, I mean, it's a horror game.
I know, but I was like, I can't, like, these are not safe for work images. And I had to block him because I didn't want someone walking by my cube. And, I have that giant ass monitor, right? Like, anyone in the office is going to see that if I have it up.
You realize that I have the sexy lifestyle stuff popping up on Hootsuite when I deal with it for
Yeah, to be
social
fair,
media
to be
here.
fair, there's a lot of safe for work content at a place that has
I-
a dozen different stations and
I
different people all the
understand.
time
True.
on
I
it.
understand. But, I still.
Any which way, it's Resident Evil. You should
Right.
go pick it up, play it, buy it, whatever you got to do. It's fantastic. An update on Anthem, just because it's out.
Oh, yeah.
And some people can play it. I haven't.
Whoops.
I can't play it now.
Oh.
They put out an update, and now I can
and
never
now-
connect to the EA servers. So I would like to tell people how it is.
Wow.
But I actually can't play it now.
Wow.
Yeah. When I bought the
Somebody
game after
fudged
playing
up.
the demo, I played the 10-hour demo and went, okay, I'll buy the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Got to play it for just a little bit, and now I cannot log into the game at all.
That's the best update you could ever put out, EA.
Yeah. So if you're playing Anthem, hopefully you're having fun. I can't play it anymore, so I don't know.
Aw.
Yeah. And on another side note, real quick before I got to get out of here,
Yeah.
Destiny is putting out their new season coming up soon. If you are a fan of Destiny, but not a fan of their mode Gambit, maybe you go pick up Anthem, because it's going to be about as fun, if it doesn't work, as Destiny will for this next update. They have a game mode called Gambit, where it's a PvE mode that's kind of divided a lot of the community on it.
What does PvE stand for?
Player versus enemy, and
Okay.
player versus player.
Oh, I know.
Right.
I know PvP. Yeah, so player versus enemy. So it's player
this
versus
one
computer.
it's player versus enemy versus player. It's PvE VP.
Oh.
So
okay.
there's actually parts where the other team can come in and kill you, and you can go and kill them, try to mess up what's going on. It's kind of a competition.
Okay.
Well, they've based their entire next season, which is several months of DLC and content, around that game mode, and focused all of everything that's coming out around that game mode, to where you have to play that game mode to do anything in it.
Oh.
And
Well, that's a choice they made.
a lot of people don't play that. When you look at their stats online, the majority of the community is not playing Gambit.
So this is,
So
hey,
it's-
we made this mode, play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Pretty
hey, we
much.
hear you don't like Gambit, so we're going to put some Gambit in your Gambit so you can play some Gambit and earn rewards for Gambit.
There was a lot of
Life don't
Gambit
get
in that
much
one.
better than this.
Yep.
There was a lot of just Gambit in that sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit interesting. We'll see how that ends up working out for them. Destiny has always had a problem with bringing people back, and people were kind of hoping that, hey, you're away from Activision now. Maybe we can finally see some good Bungie.
Yeah.
And their statement was, hey, we're going to put out what our core audience wants. And your core audience is not playing Gambit.
Well-
the streamers are. The core audience is not.
How do you define core audience is the question.
Well, see, that's the problem, is they're
Right.
defining their core audience by basically Twitch.
Yeah.
And the people on Reddit and the forums and everything else are going, well, we don't stream. We play with our friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing?
So,
Yeah.
So
there's that.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. We'll see how those kind of things go on. But
Unless by
yeah.
core audience, they mean the people watching Twitch.
I'm guessing
You
that
know,
must be what it is.
that's-
The people that are
I
not
mean,
playing their game,
that is-
just
that is-
watching.
Right.
Maybe.
So
Maybe. That is an
might,
audience.
That
right?
might be, but
Yeah.
it doesn't generate traffic to their game or sales for their game.
No.
If you're
Probably
watching
not.
somebody else playing it, you're not playing it.
Right.
It's true.
Right.
So that is not a good. If that's what they're looking at, that is not a good way to focus.
Yeah. No, it is not.
No.
Like, it's advertising, but every time somebody's sitting there watching somebody else play that game, they aren't playing that game. So
what you're saying is
model.
so the definition of a gambit, it's a move in chess where you sacrifice a piece to get an advantage.
Yeah.
So you're saying that they're taking a gambit with gambit mode.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
They are.
Okay.
And it was originally billed as it was called Joker's Wild originally, because we got two as the Black Armory and then Joker's Wild,
Okay.
and we didn't know what the third one was going to be. And they've changed the name of it to Season of the Drifter and changed everything to just being like gambit focused, and it's really divided in the community. So we'll see how that ends up going. But,
oh dear.
We've got just a little bit of time left.
Okay.
So you guys, I actually have to get out of here because there's live stuff going on all over the place, and I've got to get over there.
Yeah, go engineer some live stuff.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
But everybody have a wonderful weekend. We'll talk to you next time, and you guys, I'm out.
All right.
Bye, Josh.
Don't mess with the Cajun. It's more gambit jokes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm still sitting here like,
Yeah, because Gambit was in the X-Men. He was.
Yeah, I know he's an X-Men.
Okay.
That I actually did know.
Okay. All right. Hey, did you hear about this thing that happened with Bones and Hulu?
Bones? You mean the TV show from Fox?
Yes, the Fox show starring David Boreanaz and Emily Deschanel, based on the novels written by Kathy Reichs.
No, I did. I think, yes, you did tell me a little bit about this, but I think for our audience, I think you should tell them as well.
Okay.
Also, I have a friend that was in the show as an extra for a few seasons.
Oh,
So
fantastic.
shout out to you, Brenna.
Hey, hi, Brenna.
She's cool.
So apparently, this is a very big, confusing article that I read. But apparently, what happened is the people. So Hulu is co-owned by Fox and Disney and Warner and
A lot of big names.
Yeah, it's basically all the major networks co-own a piece of Hulu.
Okay.
Which is how it has so many shows from all the different networks and stuff, right? And so everyone's just like, hey, yeah, we're all going to get together. We're all going to make a thing where we all, people can just watch everything. And we all get a little bit of the monthly subscription, blah, blah, blah. We're not competing with Netflix, or we're not, losing whatever.
Yeah.
So apparently, what had happened is one of the guys was both a in charge at Fox and in charge at Hulu.
Oh.
And wrote up a contract for the distribution of Bones to Hulu, where Fox basically gave Hulu the show Bones for free.
Oh, no.
And so he signed off on that as a representative of Fox. And the same guy, as a representative of Hulu, signed off on it and said, yes, we will take Bones basically for free. Bones is one of the higher streamed shows on Hulu.
Makes sense.
And is the longest running drama to be on Fox ever since the company started in the late 80s.
I mean, there's been a lot of shows that have been canceled. It's a pretty long list.
Right. Bones lasted for 12 seasons. Most shows don't last for 12 seasons anymore. Never mind, procedural dramas.
Grey's Anatomy.
Most. I said most.
Hey, no, you did say most, but that was the first one that came to mind because I think I just watched an ad where it was like, oh, we're celebrating, our 15th year or 15th season or whatever. And I'm sitting here like, God, you're still on?
Yeah. Well, and all the NCIS and CSI shows are all still on.
Except for the original CIS.
But again, most shows don't last 12 seasons.
It's true.
Right? And Bones did. And so I guess based on the way that the contracts are written, the executive producers, who are David Boreanaz and Emily Deschanel, who are also the stars of the show, also Kathy Reichs, also one of the other producers, were all supposed to get a lot more money than they were getting.
Ooh.
And as a result of all of this and them taking basically Fox to court over it, Fox has to pay them something like $189 million in lost revenue and damages.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. And that's almost $200 million. And,
oh my God.
Yeah. And the question is, if this is what Fox did with one of their top shows, what are they doing with their other shows? And what other networks are doing this, if any?
Yeah.
So, listen, I have a Hulu account. I love it. I love watching, we all love watching our shows on Hulu and stuff. But this kind of raises the question of what has been going on with Hulu, right?
Yeah.
Is this going? I mean, we're already in a world where Disney, is buying Fox, and they're going to start the Disney Plus streaming service, and you're going to be getting all of your Hulu stuff, or like stuff's going to be coming off Hulu and going onto that. So, are all the other networks going to be? Oh, you look like you just need so bad.
I need to see so bad, and it's not happening.
Oh no!
So just keep going. If it happens, it happens.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know, like we're in a world where everyone's making their own streaming services anyways, so how long is Hulu going to be around? How long is it going to be necessary? Blah, 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 right?
Shrugs.
Like, I like it. I hope it's still around, but, and maybe this is an isolated incident, right?
Yeah, maybe.
This is just the one time that it happened, but.
It might be, honestly, because, I mean, Hulu's been showing shows like Family Guy and The Simpsons that are also Fox shows.
Right.
And I know Seth MacFarlane is, and all of the other creators of those shows. I don't remember the name of The Simpsons one. I only remember Seth MacFarlane right now.
Matt Groening.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But the two of them are, and all of their other creators for their shows are walking away with, some pretty decent cash in their pockets.
Sure, but are they walking away with as much as they're supposed to based on their contracts?
I don't know.
and if Hulu's being so great to Matt Groening, why did Disenchantment go to Netflix?
Fair point.
Yeah. So and I don't have those answers, right? This is all speculatory. We don't know what's going on.
We really don't.
But the fact that this happened and was a $189 million lawsuit, which Fox is trying to repeal or appeal.
One of those words.
Yeah, and it's already not looking like they have a good choice because appealing decisions about TV shows and stuff generally don't get overruled.
Yeah. So I heard that was a really good show, and obviously because if it lasted 12 seasons, it must have been.
Yeah, I watched the first 9 of them.
Okay.
And then maybe 10. Towards the end, one of the main characters got killed off, and not really spoiler, I didn't tell you which character.
It's true.
But in the first episode of one of the later seasons, the character wasn't on the show, was written off the show, and I was like, all right, I'm done. Like, I at that point, I was kind of just watching because I'd always watched, and I was looking for an excuse to break off, and that was a good enough one. And I was like, all right, like, it's all...
Yeah, no, like, I actually watched a few episodes of Bones, and it's pretty interesting. I know, like, sometimes the actual, like, skeletons that they're examining, it's kind of like, ugh, that's gross. Ugh.
Yeah,
but,
that was another mistake I used to make.
Yeah, but once I got past that, I got right into, like, the investigative stuff that you normally see with shows. Right. I was like, okay, cool, I'm good.
yeah, there would be days where I'd go make myself, like, a big steak or something, and I'd sit down and I'd turn on Bones, and the first scene would be a dead, rotting corpse, and I'd look down at my steak and be like, well, I'm not hungry anymore. So, yeah.
Note to self, don't eat steak while watching Bones.
Right. Yeah, I made that mistake a lot. Because, there'd be a long enough break where I'd forget. And, yeah. Anyways, so I don't know. I hope that all works out. I hope everyone who signed deals to make a certain amount of money make the amount of money that they were making. They're supposed to make. I don't know. That's...
Yeah, hope all goes well. So
yeah. So, yeah. And on the plus side, Rupert Murdoch is selling 20th Century Fox, so 21st Century Fox. So maybe this won't happen anymore.
Maybe, who knows?
Maybe once Disney gets a hold of it, it'll all maybe Disney's more ethical than Fox. That's a weird sentence.
I mean,
listen, we all want to think the best out of everyone, but
I mean, I'm not saying that Disney's not ethical. It's just like.
Right.
They're doing something right.
They're making a lot of money is what they're doing.
Oh, yeah. And there was a period of time where they weren't. They were struggling for a while there.
That's very true. Yeah.
If it wasn't for The Little Mermaid,
we wouldn't have the Disney animation ever again.
We wouldn't have a lot of things in Disney anymore. Like the parks would probably have closed in like the 80s or the 90s. But either way, though, Disney's doing good, and we hope that hopefully Bones and everyone else at Fox gets everything figured out. Yeah. So. All right. Well, I think it's time to wrap it up.
I think so. Yeah. So let's see. Social media. We got Atomic Monsoon on Twitter, Atomic_Monsoon on Instagram, Facebook.com/Atomic Monsoon.
The Gmail.
Atomic Monsoon at Gmail. We got our Redbubble store. You just search for Atomic Monsoon. Let's see. What else?
You can listen to us on Voice America Variety, Sundays at 10 a.m. Pacific time, which, by the way, guys, just a note, Daylight Savings Time is coming soon. Just be aware. Anyway, and we don't deal with it here. Except for at Voice America, we deal with it, but that's a different story.
Right. Arizona doesn't change the clocks for Daylight Savings Time because why?
Yeah.
What? All right.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Daylight Savings Time is still a thing for some reason, and it's not consistent across the United States.
Yeah. So. But anyway, though, you can also check us out on iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, literally anywhere you listen to podcasts. Yeah. And
hey, leave us a review.
Yes, please do.
If you're on iTunes, please give us a 5-star review or a 1-star review. I don't care. Just give us some more attention.
Yes, and please,
you know what?
Share it with your friends.
If you leave us a 5-star review, I will read it on the air.
He will.
I will just be like, hey, I love Atomic Monsoon. You guys are the best. Blah. And I will give you full
in that
credit.
Exact voice, too.
I will read it like a stupid chicken. Yes.
Anyway, though, guys, please check us out, please. If you have anything you want us to talk about, please send it our way.
Yeah, send that via email, but send reviews via iTunes.
That.
Yeah.
Also, I don't got anything else, so happy first day of March.
Yay, it's March.
Yay, it's March.
Stephanie, go home and blow your nose.
Yeah, I really need to blow my nose, so I'm kind of glad we're ending the episode, because that was good, the whole episode.
You were doing a really good job.
And then it was like, hey, remember the fact that you have, like, sinus issues right now? Guess what? It's back.
Yeah. So, all right,
I'm going to go blow my nose. You guys go have a great weekend, and we shall see you all next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.